Hello there, Ilya here. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how we should deal with frustration together with the chaos that we are facing day by day and how that can affect our daily routine and even our activities. With this, I want to share with you my own experiences, how I managed to stay in harmony with myself and with my surroundings. See you in just a bit. 2020. We all thought this year would be a blast. Lots of success, new projects, visions, and you can name much more. But it turned to be a strange year. A year that we will never forget. A year with a lot of insecurity, chaos happening everywhere. Many people losing their jobs, we are losing faith. Fear and anger has surrounded the world. If you have read Solzhenitsyn's book, The Gulag Archipelago, where he is writing about the horrific communist Holocaust, he has mentioned, men have forgotten God. But one thing for sure I know, of course it's easier said than done, but everything is just temporary. We cannot give up hope, we need to continue. Life goes on, it doesn't matter how difficult it is. We need to fight and destroy these negative feelings and energy. But I have one question for you. What is your purpose in life, being part of this world? I hear many people complaining that this world is a mess, that it is a disgusting place, that it used to be nice decades ago. But is the world really guilty for this, or the human being? Let's find out together what we as human beings can do to make this place a better world and to overcome our struggles in our daily lives. I am Ilya Laporev, born in Belgium and grew up over there. Thanks to my dad and others, I have the privilege of being a musician. I play the cello, one of the most beautiful instruments of this planet. At the point where I'm standing now, I had to go through a rough life. I thought I could rule the world, conquer the world with my passion, making fame and money, being young and full of spirit. In other words, to do whatever I want. But there is one thing that I have forgotten. We cannot live without the laws that God has given to us. From what I remember, I always had the thought that we are all gods. I believe that each one of us is God. And with mentality, it led me to difficult moments in my future life. So what had led me to chaos? Well, let me rewind the time a little bit. So since I started to play the cello, I only focused on practicing. See, I wanted to become the best of the best. And I didn't want to know about anything else. But life is not only about practicing or focusing on one particular thing, right? When you focus on one particular thing, you forget about the rest, and then that rest is falling apart. So with that I mean relationships, to value and appreciate things, you see, to take care of your physical and mental health. You forget about your family, your friends, everything, and so on. All these things, they have a name: chaos. And this word is really well described by Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules of Life, an antidote to chaos. Or in Portuguese, it's written, 12 regras para a vida, antídoto para o caos. And I was in chaos. I felt chaos around my body and soul, especially when I was living in Brazil a couple of years ago. I was only 24 years old, and I just had passed the audition as the leader of the cello section of Latin America's leading orchestras in São Paulo. And in a very short time, my life had been changed. I crossed continents, started to earn a lot of money, and I got married. Yeah, I got married. And gradually, I was absorbed by the frequency and the rhythm of a big city. I was working very hard. My life was completely disorganized. I ignored my diet. I did not exercise, nothing at all. I stopped practicing, and I was, not interested to take challenges in the musical world. So because all of that, I started to drink a lot, I got divorced, my life was getting a complete waste. So then I came to the point of so much frustration and loneliness that I started, to reflect, asking myself why and how I have gotten into that state. I started to reflect about my life, my behaviors, and my purpose. Only then I did change the side of the coin. And when I started to change that side of the coin, I started reading the Bible and approaching God, talking to Him every day my way. And during this process, I received also the full support from my girlfriend and my therapist. And this helped me really a lot. You see, I think here's a big mistake that many people are doing. They think therapy is for crazy people, or for losers. But well, I can say that they are completely wrong about this. I think that every person in this world needs to have therapy session with a great professional, of course, at least once in their life. Because everybody are having problems. You cannot imagine how much this will help. Confession to a good priest is also a kind of a therapy. When you open up to someone who dominates wisdom, you are not just talking, but you are listening. You are listening to yourself. You need to hear yourself out to put order in your mind. And another way to find harmony with yourself is by taking walks in Mother Nature. Smell the flowers, hear the birds, hear the water flowing on the river. It is amazing how this also can transform and inspire us. And at the same time that you exercise because you're walking, you appreciate the nature in its most varied forms, having contact and enjoying the beauty in the most varied ways. Beauty is essential in our life, whether listening to beautiful music, enjoying a work of art, a sculpture, a painting, a concert, a ballet, reading a good book, nature, and I can name much more. This beauty comes from God. I also have learned that I must stop complaining, and instead of wasting energy and time on it, I must search for a solution. Complaining does not solve anything, and it just sucks up your energy. I have also learned that I cannot be a heavyweight for the others, but a person you can trust. I have developed more on my autonomy, responsibility and resilience. This is what I usually say: serve without complaining. As Matthew wrote in the Bible, chapter 23, verse 11. Among you, the most important is the one who serves others. This message is just perfect. One of my passions is to teach and train other cellists. To serve, right? I love helping other people who are struggling and are lost in their studies, because I have been there as well. It is one of my divine calls to give them a push, and when I see progress in them, I see their smile, and that makes me smile. Because I feel like I'm doing my part to push them into the right direction. Life is continuous, non-stop. We will never stop learning. When you think you've made your life and don't need to learn more, well, I wish you the best of luck. We are not ordinary, we are extraordinary. God is giving us many calls the whole time. Being a good husband, a good father, a good friend, good teacher, a good student, a good painter, a good boss, a good employee, a good neighbor, an organized person, a good musician, a good priest, and so on. We are the architects of our own lives and for the consequence of the world, because our actions impact on the lives of the others. Don't make the world a worse place than it already is. Don't make the lives of the people around you even more difficult. The world was created to be a paradise. We cannot make hell with our lives. Bad days will come, they exist, but what to do? Don't lose your focus, don't give up, organize your life, maintain your routine and discipline, have time to study, be with your family, exercise, sleep well, work. Don't lose your faith and hope. Talk to God and mainly meditate on His Word. Try to develop your skills and purposes. Meditate on what God wants from you. Install yourself in your reality and in the present. Reflect about your own life existence, which transcends any material deeds and seasons or timing, and extends itself to an amazing eternity beyond this earthly life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you like this content and the message that I want to pass to you. Always remember, when you want to change this huge world, always start with yourself. And when you change, the other people that are surrounded by you will change as well. And like this it goes on. And only like this we can make this place a better place. Enjoy your day and we see us next time.